Whoops. Okay, par for the course. That makes sense. Okay, so this is me, totally awkward. Keep toying around with this idea of starting a TikTok channel. Some friends have suggested that my life deserves its own channel. And I don't know how I feel about that. A little bit weird and embarrassed, of course. But there are some really fascinating things that have happened this year. And while I have no idea if I would start a channel or want to publicly share everything that happens to me, I did write a completely unhinged holiday greeting that I'll share now and just kind of see where that goes. So it was quite a year, and I use humor as one of my main coping mechanisms. And although there were some very challenging times, this is a little humorous recap of 2025. Enjoy. In January, I walked into my dresser and broke my toe. I immediately decided the best course of action was to go for a run. Why not? The year continued in much the same spirit. It included several run-ins with police or law enforcement. One of those involved getting kicked out of a campground in the Adirondacks in the middle of the night with absolutely nowhere to go. Another was a time I had to pick up two teenage boys for causing mischief around 11:30 p.m. Unfortunately, I had previously taken a gummy to relax and fall asleep, didn't know they'd left the house, so I could not drive to go get them. So, yes, I had to walk to retrieve them and walk them home. Parenting win? I don't know. I also taught my teenager how to drive in a standard car. There were many bumpy starts, lots of stalls, and even an accident that resulted in a ticket and a trip to traffic court. Luckily, the judge was extremely understanding and reduced the ticket to a parking violation. This led to a Christmas Eve side quest to Hershey, Pennsylvania to pick up a new door for my car, which just barely fit in the backseat by some absolute miracle. However, on the way home, a rock hit my windshield and left a nice crack just to really seal that experience. I entered my first downhill mountain bike race and jump jam contest on my mountain bike with Ramen. We traveled all over the place, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Ottawa, for mountain biking trips and parts, lots of bike parts. I had a public crash out fight with my husband in Walmart. Trashy, I know. And I left my husband of 22 years later in that year. I moved this year. I moved next door, so now we're neighbors. I sorted through 23 years of pillowcases, which seems really mundane. But when you start going through things like your linen closet, trying to decide what to keep or leave behind from your old life and your shared possessions, it really hits different. I found myself sitting in the hallway surrounded by sheets, pillowcases, towels, just staring at the mess and trying to figure out making some sort of sense out of the big changes to come. I entered a cross-country race series in which I completed exactly 0 of the 5 races. I refinished the wood floors in an entire house all by myself in a completely unhinged month of projects, painting, and moving. I started working at a dive bar a couple nights a week making pizza and wings because apparently I can't say no, and I just started helping, and somehow I just ended up on the schedule and I can't stop. I made about 40 Facebook Marketplace exchanges and found some truly excellent treasures in thrift stores around the area, which now fill my new home, including a set of lockers, a gumball machine, and a vintage red step stool chair that I absolutely had to have. I scheduled and attended more therapy sessions than ever, and I started telling people how I really feel. I had to shop for new pants because all of my old pants don't fit me anymore. Fuck. I traveled a ton. I got a few upgrades. I got a few downgrades. I spent one night in my car. I took the most amazing trip to Paris with my mom and my sister. Life-changing, really. I also took a fabulous girls' trip with my friend Hope to Miami. And I visited my birthplace in Summertown, Tennessee, which is the farm, which is still an active commune. I kept 4 plants alive for the last 3 months. They're still hanging in there. I navigated my first holidays as a single mom and all of the emotions and miscommunication that comes with that territory. And I created a new space that feels so good. It's full of bright colors and things that bring me joy. It's peaceful, whimsical, and cozy. And I've nicknamed it the Happy House, and I feel very happy there. I'll sign off by saying I have some freaking amazing people in my life, friends, family, and coworkers who joined me in some of these adventures and misadventures, and most of all, supported me through it all. Even with all of the craziness, it wasn't a bad year. It was definitely a year of growth and one that I will look back on as proof that I am strong. P.S. I left a few things out because I really didn't want anybody to feel jealous of my absolutely amazing year and accomplishments. But I do want to close off by saying Happy New Year. I hope 2026 brings you lots of joy and whimsy and wonderful things to come. Bye.